Hi everybody, it's Sonnie coming at you from Fukuoka, Japan. Living in Japan as a foreigner can be difficult, but there are some things you can bring to Japan that make your life a lot easier. If you're currently in the process of packing stuff up and moving to Japan, I recommend you bring these 7 things with you and don't buy them here in Japan. Number 1, deodorants. Biologically speaking, Asian bodies are different than Western bodies. In Japan, Korea, China, and throughout Asia, many people don't require deodorant at all. So it can be very difficult as a Westerner to find deodorant that's the strength that we need. We can sometimes get lucky and find the extra strength deodorant that they have here, which would really be considered our regular strength. But sometimes these won't include antiperspirants at all. And you really don't want to stand in front of your class with pit stains. Kids laugh. So I definitely recommend stocking up on some deodorant and bringing it over with you. Number 2, lotions and sunblock. If you enjoy slathering yourself in rich, beautiful lotion like I do, or wearing sunblock to protect your skin on sunny days, I definitely recommend bringing these. Because lotion and sunblock is extremely expensive in Japan, and the average size of a sunblock bottle here is like that big. When people go out into the sun, especially women, they wear these really long sleeves and scarves and hats and shaded visors and face masks and long pants, and they keep everything covered in other ways. They also even have like umbrellas that are UV protected that they walk around with. It's very trendy to have a fair complexion here in Japan, and for that reason as well, a lot of lotions and sunblocks also have skin lighteners in them. I personally don't want to have the harmful effects of UV rays on me, but that doesn't mean that I want to make my skin whiter in the process, which is really bad for your skin. So definitely bring your own. Number 3, makeup. Now, some makeup will actually include those skin whiteners and lighteners like I mentioned too. So that alone, unless you can read the bottles pretty proficiently and know that it doesn't have those in it, is enough for me to kind of stay away from makeup here in Japan. But in addition to that, because Japanese makeup is made for Japanese people, you might not be able to find the colors that match your complexion and that looks right with your skin tone. So I do recommend stocking up on your makeup or ordering some online and having it shipped to you. Number 4, electronics. A lot of people assume that just because a lot of electronics are made in Japan, that they're incredibly cheap here. And I really wish that was the case. They're actually much cheaper in the US. So a lot of foreigners that I know will actually order their laptops, cameras, etc., from the US and pay for the shipping to bring it over to Japan, and it's still cheaper than if they just bought it here in Japan. And a lot of times if you're visiting home or something, you may want to purchase the electronics that you need there and just bring it back with you. I have no idea why it's so expensive here. Comment below if you know. I really don't know. Number 5, drugs. No, not illegal drugs. I would never tell you to do illegal drugs, especially in Japan. You do not want to be caught with any marijuana or any illegal drug. Marijuana is in the same criteria law-wise as cocaine and heroin. They're crazy strict. It's not worth it. You'll be thrown in jail and kicked out of the country. But if you check on their website and see which over-the-counter drugs are legal to bring into Japan, I really recommend it. The over-the-counter drugs here are nothing. They have no strength, especially compared to the drugs that you can get in the United States. You know, we got the good stuff. We got NyQuil and Dayquil and Imodium and things like that, that to get that same strength, you would have to go to a doctor and get a prescription here. And to encourage more people to go to the doctor and get prescriptions, it's actually cheaper to go that route than to pay for the weaker over-the-counter stuff in Japan. Also, I personally am lactose intolerant and I haven't been able to find any Lactaid pills here. Now that just might be because I can't read kanji that well and I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but I usually order those offline and just have those delivered. Number 6, foreign food. You can find foreign food at places like Caldi, Costco, or Jupiter. There are foreign food shops in Japan, but because of trade deals and import taxes, they're really expensive here in Japan. Now, I have been reading on the news that Japan has been negotiating for different trade deals with the EU as well as the USA, so I'm hoping that foreign food goes down in price, but for right now, it's really expensive. I personally do know foreigners who, when they go back home, will actually bring an empty suitcase that they can fill up with whatever they want, and usually that includes a lot of the dried food goods that they really miss from home. And we personally have had some care packages sent to us, including our favorite foods that we miss as well, because they are just so expensive here. Number 7, clothes and shoes. So you'll likely be able to find stuff that does fit you, but it may not fit you that well, clothing-wise, especially if you want it to be fitted. In Japan, they tend to wear more shapeless clothing, and that's not really the same style that Westerners like. So you might be able to find some clothing that's more fitted, but it probably won't fit you. Clothes here are made for Asian type bodies, and Western bodies and Asian bodies are very different. Now, I'm a pretty skinny chick, and I'm not talking about weight here at all. I'm talking about how my shoulders and my hips are wider than most Asian women's shoulders and hips. My torso and my legs are longer, and my feet are bigger. So for my indoor shoes for my school, I actually had to buy men's sneakers because they didn't have my size. And I don't have huge feet. I have bigger feet. They're size 8 in the US, but here everything is smaller, especially for women. So shopping can be really tricky. And oddly enough, my boobs, which are not big, and I was made fun of all throughout high school for how small they are too big in Japan for any fitted clothing. This shirt used to have a button here, but it actually popped off at school, which was mortifying. It flew down the hallway and bounced off the wall, and I was like, oh my god, am I in one of my male students' fantasies right now? But yeah, you can see that the fabric actually has stretched and ripped from my boobs. I don't, true story, I don't get it. So that's my list. I hope some of these surprised you and that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and leave a comment for me with your thoughts. I'd love to chat with you. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell icon next to the subscription box so that you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!